Hello, Bobcats, and welcome to my Capstone podcast. My name is Jenna Smalley, and today we're diving into a topic that many of us know all too well: the rising culture of overworked college students. College is supposed to be a time of growth, discovery, and finding your community. However, most of us are juggling schedules so packed that we forget to really sit in such a formative experience. Over the course of this podcast, my two wonderful guests, Avrin and Lexie, and I will unpack how this mindset has shaped our own personal college experiences. And with all of us so close to the finish line, we're going to reflect on what we maybe wished we'd done differently. Yes, college is primarily about finding your professional path and earning that degree, but in my opinion, the beauty of the college experience is the opportunity to truly discover the mark that you want to leave on the world. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So I have my two lovely guests here with me today. So whoever wants to go first, I just want you to, say your name, your major, and then just maybe some stuff you're doing on campus right now.
Hi, my name is Avrin. I'm an integrated healthcare studies major. I used to work for the Bobcat Student Orientation. I am currently working at Texas Roadhouse as a baker.
And then my name is Lexie Swain, and I'm a senior, and I work full-time as a photographer running my own business, and I also work as a receptionist in the College of Education at Patton.
Heck yeah. And I'm Jenna. I am a communication studies major, and I also just finished working a summer with BSO with Avrin, and I'm currently an ambassador for the Scripps College of Communication. So you guys talked a little bit about your majors, and I know, Lexie, you just talked about that you work full-time as a photographer, but can you guys talk about what you plan to do after graduation? Because everyone in this room is a senior. That's kind of crazy.
That's really scary.
That is, I'm like,
For myself, I am graduating in 9 days currently. So I'm going to take the spring semester off and work full-time. Probably the same place I'm working now at Texas Roadhouse, and just rack up as many hours as I can a week. And then my plan is to go to graduate school, most likely in Virginia, to get my Master's of Health Administration and work with veterans in healthcare services.
Sweet.
And then after I graduate, I obviously want to keep doing my full-time job. So I want to do more like travel photography. So like instead of just like Ohio and all this stuff, I'd rather go to like out of the country and stuff like that. But I also would love to find a job in Nashville that works as like a social media management company for influencers.
Okay. So you both have like very specialized goals, which I think is kind of cool and a little bit unheard of with our generation, I feel like. A lot of people, I mean, me included, I am a communication studies major. Not many people know what they're going to do with that. I just recently discovered that I want to pursue higher ed because of BSO. Probably student affairs, anything, student engagement, where I can actually help people going through the college experience, but I don't really have a place where I want to do it specifically. So, yeah, I'm kind of at the halfway mark. I know what I want to do, but I have no idea where I want to do it. But I also graduate in 9 days, so the clock is ticking.
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yep. I've got time to figure it out, though. I'm trying not to be worried. But, okay. So, like I said, we're all seniors, but when you first started college, were you guys on the same path that you're on now, or have you switched things around since then?
Switched like drastically.
Can you walk me through what that was like?
So going into college, I actually wanted to be a dental hygienist. Really odd, but I didn't get accepted to the program, so then I flipped the switch. So I went to school for fashion merchandising, and I did that for about like a year and a half, and then I changed to communications because I was like, oh, that's still like broad, and I can still kind of do fashion with that because I mean it's not very constrictive. So I completely went from fashion all the way to communications, which it's the same but it's so different. But I was like so sad. I was like, oh, I'm gonna live in New York City. I'm gonna be a fashion merchandising girl, and now I'm like, I want to live in Nashville and take pictures.
I love it. It's kind of the same vibe, but in different fonts.
Exactly.
Like, you found your thing. You were kind of on the right track, but, like, you pivoted when you realized you had a real niche thing.
Exactly.
So that's sick. I love that you found that. Avrin, what about you, buddy?
New York City's expensive.
I know!
I'm going there this weekend, so...
Well, you'll get a taste. Open up those pockets, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. For me, that was kind of the same. I was very, very drastic change. I started off as an athletic training major. I was on the early acceleration program track, so I was supposed to get my bachelor's in 3 years and go straight into my master's for 2 years. As we are now learning, that is not how that worked out. So I switched my major my sophomore year, realizing that I could not do biology to save my life, so I switched to nutrition and wanted to be an applied nutritionist, and realized that I could not do chemistry to save my life. And then I switched to just general studies degree, and wasn't liking how that sounded coming off my tongue, as I'm a general studies major, which, nothing against anybody that does general studies, but it wasn't my calling.
Totally.
And so what I always found when looking through the majors was looking back into the College of Health Sciences and Professions. And so looking through their majors about 100,000 times, I found the integrated healthcare studies, which just meshes everything together that I've learned, and then I can also pick a field that I want to go into. So it was a very, very different track. I'm not working with athletes, but I'll still be working with special populations.
Totally. Yeah, I love that you guys, even though you're not where you started, you're in kind of like an adjacent career to where you started, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, it's funny that you said you started off wanting to do that advanced track, because it just makes so much sense.
It does.
Because, again, I need to give the qualifier. These are two of the busiest people I have ever met in my entire life. So every single time I learn more information about your journeys, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You guys have just been chronically overworked your entire life. I've had a similar path, but I feel like my realization was a lot more recent. I, last semester, realized that I actually wanted to pursue higher education as a career. And it was because of BSO. And for the first summer, I was an orientation leader. And then whenever we did our leadership summer as orientation coordinators, that's when it kind of started to make sense, because I was actually getting something from it. But anywho, yeah, I started as a media production major at Bowling Green, was that for 2 years. And then I changed to graphic design. Yeah, I was a graphic design major for a semester and a half. And then I got scared out of that because of AI. And then I transferred here, and it's been written in the stars as a comms major ever since then. But yeah, I thought I was going to do something a lot more creative. I'm glad that I didn't, because I think it's important for me to keep those things separated, like hobby and career. So yeah, everything happens for a reason. I still do art, but I'm glad I'm not on that track anymore. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the awesome topic of pressure and overwork. Burnout. We know it too well.
Yep.
Just the week before finals, we're feeling it all too hard right now. So just as a broad starting off question, can you think of like a specific time when you really felt the pressure of college, and maybe it was for the first time, or it was like at a level that you'd never felt before? Do you think you can identify that moment for me?
I can give you two.
Yeah.
So the first time that I think I felt the pressure from college was my first exam that I ever took, and I got a 36% in human biology. So it's biology. I didn't stay in that degree anyways. But so that was when I really felt the pressure, because I was a high school student that never really needed to study. And that first exam, it whoops you in the butt. But then also feeling the power, like feeling overworked and really feeling the stress of like getting an undergraduate degree and working, was probably my junior year, when I was working up to 20 hours inside of the BSO office as a coordinator and as an office assistant, while managing all of my classes and having a dog that I had to get home to every night. And so that was probably one of the times where I was almost just like, I'm done with my undergraduate. I can't do it anymore.
For mine, I feel like it wasn't a specific moment. It was more, honestly, like a realization all at once. I would say it was literally probably like a month ago, when I was like dealing with family issues and trying to go to work every single day when it was like 2 hours away, and having a 10-page paper to write. And I was like, I physically like feel like there's not enough hours in the day for me to get everything done because I literally don't have enough hours.
Yeah. I definitely know the feeling, for sure. I think for me, the moment that I think of is whenever I decided to transfer, just because college is already hard enough if you like where you are.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't like what you're doing, and you don't like the people that you're hanging out with, and you don't like the location that you're, like, everything was wrong. And just feeling how much harder it is when none of those things are in place. Oh my gosh, like, I can't even imagine if I stayed there and didn't try to fix that. Because college is already hard enough.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's the moment for me where it really started to click. Or maybe when I finally understood what college should be.
Mm-hmm.
We've already established you are so busy all the time. But could you guys maybe describe what a typical week looks like for you? And maybe, I know, Avrin, you and I are about to graduate, so we've had busier semesters than this one. So maybe you talked about the spring semester of juggling all those jobs and all those responsibilities. Maybe if you don't mind talking about what that was like. And then Lexie, anytime that you had, I think this semester is your busiest, because you're working full-time and you have the most amount of credit hours. So if you guys want to talk about those specifically, I think that would be a great example.
So my weekly schedule right now is I have classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday until roughly, I'd say like 12:30. It kind of depends on the day. Tuesday and Thursdays are different, obviously, than my Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But as soon as on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, the second I get off class, I drive myself straight to work, and I work up to a 5. And often, where it's darker, I usually can't, but often I would go straight from my first job, and I would go like 45 minutes away to my second job, which was photography, and then I'd have to drive almost 45 minutes, an hour back here, and then I'd get home and then try to do work and go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, that's my main thing is traveling. I travel a lot.
Yeah. You should start submitting your assignments, like, through a voice memo.
No, literally.
I mean, I feel like we could work out a system for you. I think that could work.
Would be great.
Right?
Honestly,
Accessibility services real quick.
No kidding. You could totally advocate for that for sure.
I had actually pulled my calendar from last year because I don't remember.
That's actually a really good idea. I might actually do that too.
So my Mondays, I started off at 9 a.m. with a class. Then I would go straight into work for 2.5 hours. Then I would go to a Comms 1100 class and then another Comms class. Tuesdays, I would be in the office from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. working office assistant for 2 hours and then being an OC for 2 hours. And then I had a class from 3:30 to 5:30 every Tuesday. Wednesdays, I was doing interviews for the Dean of Students office. I had my journalism class, then I had another staff meeting at 11, plus a class, then another class. Thursdays, we had our BSO class, and I was also working as an office assistant during that time with my OC hours. Then I would go into a one-on-one with our graduate assistant, and then I would go to my office assistant hours. So Thursday I was in the office all day long. And then Friday it was another doing interviews, class, work, class, work, returning orientation leader meeting. And so that repeated probably all the way from January until May, and then a week off and then going straight into leadership training until July.
Yeah, with so much love, I don't know how you're still with us.
I don't know how I am either.
Yeah. I knew that you were busy last spring, but it was scary, like, how well you handled it from the outside looking in, because I would have been rocking back and forth like a baby all day long.
It's a great thing I had my dog. Like,
oh my gosh, very
so
true.
Much.
Thank you, Huck.
Yep.
Love you, buddy. I don't know. I think my busiest semester has honestly been this one, just because I'm taking the most credit hours I've ever taken because I want to get out of here. And then also I've been working 10 to 15 hours a week, so not that crazy, as a Scripps ambassador. I usually work way more than that, but with the amount of stuff that I had going on this semester with my classes, I didn't want to risk messing it up. But typically, I think maybe one of my first or second semesters here, after I became an ambassador, I would have class 5 days a week. usually in, like, the middle of the day. I would emphasis on try, go to the library at least 2 or 3 times a week after those classes. So from, like, 3 until dinner time, maybe even after that, I would be at the library. I would work 6 to 10 shifts because I could get homework done, and also quick and easy money, 4 hours. But yeah, those were tough because it was a lot of, even if I didn't have things to do, I was just sitting around. It's tough trying to work and
do everything.
And do everything. So I feel like that's a really good way to tie into this next question. And I feel like I know the answer, but I'm also interested to know what you guys say. But did this schedule come from your own personal drive, or were there outside influences that encouraged you to take on more than you could handle?
I would say for me, definitely my own personal, because I didn't have to travel like an hour, and I didn't have to make trips to Tennessee for photography, and I didn't have to do all that, but I wanted to because I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely like a work-driven person, so I kind of like, it's fun for me. And like,
Totally.
I know a lot of people can't do, like you said, you can't do like hobbies and work, but like to me, like I can't imagine it literally any other way.
Totally. Yeah. That's what I thought you were gonna say, but
Oh, I definitely put that upon myself, and I continue to. If I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm bored, and I feel that I can't function as a human being if I'm not doing something. And so constantly overworking myself, constantly giving myself tasks and putting myself onto different routes is how I can strive and how I can just do better. I mean, I will say there were probably outside factors for BSO, but
sure,
mostly that was just me going, I can do all of this right now by myself.
Yeah.
Let me make an entire scavenger hunt real quick.
Oh, dear God. And we did.
We did.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Did it? It did something.
It did it.
Okay, so super cool that you guys have that drive, because most people don't. I feel like people typically who take on that much in college are trying to like meet requirements or get an internship. I think you guys are rarities in that regard, but I know you are both human, even though sometimes I do consider otherwise. So can you guys talk to me about what burnout looks and feels like for you? And then, yeah, talk about the physical, emotional. What do you notice when you know that you're, like, down bad?
I would say for me, the main thing is, like, kind of, like, I wouldn't say so much physical, a little bit, but, like, mine's, like, heavily emotional. Like, I'll go to bed and I, like, physically, I guess it is physical. I, like, can't get out of bed to save my life. I would literally lay there and I'm, like, I have, like, all I can see in my brain is the list of things I have to do, the list of things I have to edit, and I can't take on one task at a time. I just see, like, overarching.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's just, like, the feeling of I physically, like, cannot get out of bed. Like, when I get out of bed, that means I have to start my day. So if I just lay here forever, low-key, like, I don't start my day, you know? So that's when I know, I'm like, oh, girl, you're burnt out, girl.
Yeah.
Like, chill.
That's so real, that I don't have to start my day if I don't leave the comfort of my bed.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the world is still spinning, by the way.
No, it's not.
Not from the comfort of my bed.
No.
Of course it isn't.
I'm kind of the same way. If I'm feeling burnout, I do not want to get out of my bed. I am doing everything but pulling up my Canvas or looking at my assignment tracker.
Mm-hmm.
I also notice I start baking very, very heavily. Like, my roommates will walk out at 3 a.m. and I'm baking cupcakes and making my own ice creams and making my own syrups. There were 5 syrups in my fridge one time, and there were 5 undone assignments on my computer. Like, it happens so often that
Crazy.
There was another day, I think I cleaned out our entire ice machine, or our ice tray. I just dumped it into the
What are
sink.
you doing? Like, hey, go to sleep.
No, it was time to do that and not my assignments.
Correct. Yeah. You were like, I'm making time for things. You can't say that I don't have a schedule. Look at me.
And I mean, if anybody says anything, I'm doing things for my mental health. Not doing my work.
Ignoring it. Exactly.
Yeah, it works out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same, although the physical, for sure, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't have any motivation. All I want to do is sleep. I take so many naps, turn into a toddler. It's crazy. But I notice it emotionally way before I notice it physically. Because when I'm burnt out, I get quiet so fast. Like, I don't tell anyone anything. I don't want to talk about what I have going on. If my parents call or text me, I'm like, I'm not going to answer. Like, it's almost like I know I'm doing something wrong, or I know that I have something I need to fix, but I don't want to face it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for me, it's interesting that you guys prioritize, or you talked about the physical first, because I think for me, it's very emotional.
I get the emotional too. Like,
Yeah.
I get the guilt behind that as well. It's like as soon as like I don't pick up my mom's phone, like my mom's phone call, like I'm feeling like the worst child in the world.
Yep.
Like not even realizing that I am an undergraduate student in senior year with jobs. Like there's a lot behind it.
For sure.
See, for me, it's interesting because like when I'm like burnout, I don't really shut out people. I'm more like I will complain, like not complain, but like I'm like very expressive. Like I'll tell my dad like literally having the worst day ever, gonna lay in bed all day. Like I'll be telling people like if I'm a little like quote unquote rude, like know why, because I'm just done for right now. Like I can't do it.
It's real.
So.
Well, I admire that. It means you're really good at setting boundaries.
Exactly.
We're not.
No, not at all.
Us, on the other hand, not as good at it. True.
Therapy appointment? Absolutely. Let's
Yeah,
talk about this.
exactly. Capstone is turning into therapy. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I didn't know that about you guys. I feel like that was a good question. I'm glad I asked that. Okay. So now we're gonna get into reflecting.
Oh,
Yay!
yay.
So we've talked about the things that you've done over the course of your undergrad, the things that made you stressed, the things that you're happy you did, the paths that you're on now. So let's look at little high school, Avrin and Lexie. What did you guys think college was going to be like? Or like, what did you think it was really about? And it's broad, so feel free to interpret that however you want to. Because when I was writing this question, just to give you a little qualifier, I was like, when I was in high school, as silly as it sounds, I thought college was going to be pitch perfect. I genuinely thought that the vibe, not the singing, like I know the Barden Bellas, that's
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. But I did think that like the vibes and the people, I thought that was going to be very reflective of real life. And in a way it kind of is, in like an SNL skit kind of a way, but also it's not at all. So it's a weird example, but when I was writing that, I was like, I feel like that'd be a good example to include.
For me, I would say I thought college, I guess it kind of like is how you make it out to be. So for me, I completely went a different route than what I wanted. So I wanted to be like in a sorority, I wanted to be in a million clubs, I wanted to do like everything under the sun possible, and I'm not in a sorority and I'm not in any clubs. But so in my head, I guess I thought like, oh, like college is going to change my life, I'm going to be involved in so many things, and I'm going to be best friends with everyone, and I'm going to be a straight A student. That's just not how it worked, but I'm not mad that's not how it worked. Like, just because I don't have a million friends and I don't have a 4.0 GPA doesn't mean like my college experience wasn't worth it. It's just like different path, and I do think it is like what you make it kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think for me, I thought college, like, I very much thought it'd be, like, pitch perfect, Hogwarts, like,
yes,
really bringing in all of the movies and TV references I've ever seen, which is not realistic whatsoever.
No.
I thought for myself that I'd be more into the bar scene and going out scene, which I'm not. I hate it. I do not like bars. I do not like going out. I do not like drinking. Do not like loud noises. Can't do it. Crowds, nope.
You're basically your dog, dude.
Yes, I am. You see where we both are the same?
I know.
But I started off joining a lot of clubs and putting myself out there a lot more, and I'm not in any clubs anymore because you do make your own experience of it. And I'd say that the outgoingish person I was in high school kind of faded a little more in college, and I became more of an introvert, and which isn't a bad thing, but I learned more about myself and what I need in life and things that I believe will help me succeed, I guess.
Totally. No, that really makes sense. Very well said. I think it's interesting that you said that you went into college knowing that it is what you make of it. I think that's a very mature outlook to have at 18 years old, because I definitely did not think that way.
No.
And I think it probably tied into the fact that I thought it was going to be pitch perfect.
yeah,
Because I saw it as like, even if I don't change anything about myself and I don't step out of my comfort zone and I don't do anything, it's going to be this wonderful transformative experience. And I'm going to change, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to become an adult, and I'm going to blossom.
That's not right.
It's not how that works, Jenna. And I think I learned very recently that getting out of your comfort zone is very different than lying to yourself.
Yes.
Because I think we've put so much emphasis on getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things. What did I say the other day? I said there's a difference between stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Like, you can step out of your comfort zone and try new things and grow and evolve, but at the same time, you have to be honest about the things that are going to serve you. And I think that was the biggest thing that I had to learn, because originally I was like, I'm going to do things even if I know they're not going to work out, hence joining a sorority. Mm-hmm. And that was part of the reason why I transferred. Like, I literally ran from a bad decision. Like, I wish I could have gone back and been like, girl, you know that you're not a sorority girl. You know that you're not going to have fun. You don't go out. You aren't super extroverted. You don't enjoy spending so much money on dresses you're going to wear once. There was just no reason for me to do that. But I think I had so many expectations going into college that I, for whatever reason, thought that the second I left my hometown, everything about my personality was going to change. Huh? Yeah, that's just not how that works. But, I mean, it took me 4.5 years to figure it out, but here we are. Here we are.
The ambitions of being 17 and 18 years old.
What did Taylor say? How does a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? Okay. So this, sorry. Anywho, so this next question is another reflection. So when you think back on all of your courses that you've taken over the course of your undergrad, did you ever feel like you were genuinely learning, or was the focus more on getting the grade that you needed? And feel free to give examples of certain classes.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I feel like it was, for me, I never feel like I was actually genuinely learning. I feel like I was literally just getting good grades to get that certificate, so then I could tell people, oh, I graduated from college. Mm-hmm. It's literally it.
Yeah.
Literally it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Really?
I think there's
makes me sad.
There's been one time, and that's actually kind of when I found my passion for wanting to work with veterans. When it was a cultural competency class, and it was an online class, but I was having to do all this research and read, and it made me appreciate the class more and appreciate cultural competency more. However, in the long run, I was just wanting to do everything just to get the grade. Like, I wanted to walk away with a cord around my neck that had, like, magna cum laude or some shit around it. Like, that was the end goal to be on Dean's List. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's something that I appreciate so much about Candace's classes that we've had. Have you ever heard of ungrading? Mm-mm. So we have a professor who doesn't, you would hate this, I just know it, because you need structure.
I do.
But she doesn't grade anything. She doesn't assign a grade to anything. It's either incomplete or complete. Mm-hmm. She gives you a rubric. She gives you feedback. She'll meet with you about stuff. But we have 2 meetings over the course of the semester, one at midterms and one at finals, which I have tomorrow, by the way.
Good luck.
Thank you. Where you go into her office and you literally advocate for your own grade. Yeah.
I love it personally. I'm like, yeah. This is why I deserve this grade.
Mm-hmm.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And after the second time I take the class.
That's fair. That is totally fair. I think I really appreciate it for what it is, because it's counteracting the things you two just said about literally not learning anything because you were so focused on the grade. But at the same time, I think I wish I would have taken a class like that when I was a freshman instead of a senior, because I've built all of these horrible habits where I don't care about keeping track of my own stuff. Like, I didn't realize how much emphasis I put on the grade that I saw on Canvas.
Yeah. Well, I think that also comes from, like, your first year classes. It's a lot of 200 people lecture calls.
Yeah, true.
Whereas the more you go into your degree, you're getting into 30 people classes. Mm-hmm. Whereas if that was switched, first years would be getting more one-on-one time with their professor, because they can. Like, professors can meet with 200 students, but how much time do they have in a day? Mm-hmm. And so I feel like ungrading would be great for first-year students, especially in that, like, instance, because they can actually learn what they're supposed to be doing.
Totally. Yeah, I had this particular professor for public speaking we were talking about earlier, but she wasn't doing the ungrading at that point, and I kind of wish that she would have, because if I did that as a little sophomore, I think that would have resonated with me so much
Yeah.
more. I mean, it still resonates with me now, but at the same time, like, I am deep in the horrible habits that I've formed over the last 4 years, and I don't think I can go back. As much as I'd like to, I'm too far gone.
Real.
Too far gone. But yeah, I agree. I think that's why ungrading for freshmen would be so good. Okay. So this is a less objective question. It's a little bit more broad, so feel free to think about it. So this question says, for you, is college more about discovering a new version of yourself or truly accepting yourself as you are? Or both?
Wait, gotta think of what you just
I know. Well, they're very similar, but they're different. Do you want me to restate it?
Yeah.
Okay. For you, is college more about discovering a new version of yourself, that transformation that we talked about? Or is that transformation truly accepting yourself as you are?
You'd be a great professor.
I
I would say for me, it's like mainly transformation, but also accepting who I am. Like there's like a little splash of that.
Okay.
Because I feel like, are you talking about like more like school, like learning, or like personality?
I
Or,
would
like,
say
both?
all of the above, because I think the point of this podcast and the point of my capstone in general was to explore the fact that because students are so overworked and they focus on the grade and they focus on getting the chords and getting to graduation, they miss, in my opinion, what college should really be about, because it's the first time in our lives where we have the ability to be truly independent. And I feel like it's hard to figure out who you are until you're alone with yourself. So through the overworking and the burnout and taking on more than you can handle just to get that grade, you don't have as much time as you should to reflect on what's important to you and like the true subjective mark that you want to leave on the world. Forget the grade, forget your degree, forget the career. Like remove all of those things. At its core, what do you want to do when you leave? Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Like, that's the point.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about career, if you want to talk about your personal, if you want to talk about both, feel free.
I feel like mine's definitely, like I said, more transformative, but like with a splash of, what was the other one again?
Both are transformative, but like transformation versus accepting.
Oh, okay, accepting. I feel like I am like significantly a different person than I was like, let's say when I was a freshman, because I feel like let's say I feel like personality, I feel like I used to be very, not like introverted, like I'm not the bubbly person we know today, and I feel like I wouldn't like go out on my way to like go meet new people, and I was always like kind of like more on eggshells, and like I, for example, like had such severe anxiety I refused to go to like the store alone. Now I feel like I do quite literally everything by myself.
You do,
because
yeah.
That's my job. Like I have to go to other states and all this stuff by myself if I can't find anyone to go with me. So I feel like in like personality aspect, I've transformed into this new person, because like if I look back 4 years ago, I'd be like, oh my gosh, girl, what are you doing? Like, you're by yourself.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
But like also accepting like, once again, kind of the personality, like I've always been this bubbly person, but I feel like I always hit it. So like I'm like not embarrassed to like talk all the time now, like that's what I do. But now it's like, oh, I accept it. Like if people don't like me for me, then they're not my friend. So
I love that. Yeah. So it's kind of both.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, little splash of both.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm thinking I was the exact opposite now that I think about that.
Yes! I love it. Give me discourse.
So I went into college giving a backstory, when I graduated from high school, my parents gave me 3 options. I could either enlist into the military, I could go to a trade school, I could go to college.
I forgot that you told me that. Yeah. I mean, hey. Those are the options.
Yeah, like those are the options.
However, when you really think about it, my dad was in the military for 20 years. He was not going to let me get into the military.
Yeah.
He was not going to let that happen.
Word.
I've never had an interest in trade school, so I was kind of just left with college. And so when I entered college, like freshman year, I think I was just trying to fit the persona of who my parents wanted me to be, because they both left college and completed their degree 18 years later online. And so I felt like I was trying to just fit the form of what they didn't get to experience. And so I was like that outgoing person. I was that person that was going and making new friends. Freshman year, I went to Donkey and did like an open mic night.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Looking back now, I don't know how I did that, because that's not the person I am. And it's not that I'm hiding myself. I think I'm just seeing who I am really. And I'm not that person that's always like that outgoing and that energetic. I'm just more of a, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to silently judge you and then put my input in when I want to. Like,
that's biblically accurate, Avrin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny because you mentioned the way that your parents had influenced it because you felt like you were doing what they couldn't. I felt like I had to do or maybe live the college experience that my parents had. Because my parents are two of the most outgoing people in the entire world. They could talk to anybody. They have zero fear. They're so self-confident. And listen, I'm going to call it what it was. They were both party kids. They knew how to have some fun in college. And I have been 20 years old going on 80 my entire life. But I keep seeing this quote everywhere. And I feel like it's one of those things where everything happens for a reason. I'm seeing it because it's like a reflection thing. This quote says, like, truly maturing is realizing that you're just a more grown-up version of the weirdo that you were at 14.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
I was looking like
Yeah.
a detective little...
True, because the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? I do love the Hunger Games. And I do love reading weird books. And I love doing weird arts and crafts. Like, I know. Like, I just...
You know,
so I think it is
makes
both.
Sense, because when I was younger, I wanted to be YouTuber more than anything in the world, and here I am wanting to
Okay,
be
influencer. Okay, influencer.
Next Alex Earl, that's me. That's
Yep.
me, guys.
Yeah, okay. I feel like in a weird way, we're kind of all saying the same thing.
Yeah, no, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
But maybe that's what, like, overall the entire college experience is supposed to be about. Like, you are trying to find that person that you are. Like, yes, you're there for the degree, but you're also trying to find your niche, your friends, like, your clique kind of thing. And I don't
Ding,
know.
ding, ding.
Having this as, like, the final week of, like, senior year is, like, kind of...
I told ya!
This is killing
There's
me.
a reason why I wanted you guys to do this with me. I don't know why you were acting like it wouldn't be fun.
Girl, I can go on for hours.
I know!
Talking, my brain's
Right?
going.
I know, we're locked in now, I can
Next
tell.
one, we need, like, weekly podcast nights.
Yes.
Well, what's crazy is when I was pitching this to my Capstone group the other day, they asked me, because one of the questions was, where do you think that your creative aspect of your capstone would be presented? Like, where would people interact with it? And I said it could be so fun to have this as, like, a part of a UC 1900 course for freshmen, where they could listen to it from the perspective of, like, seniors.
Right, I love
Right?
that. Hey, guys.
Hey! But at the same time, I also think it could be cool to do a series of these kinds of podcasts, because here we're 3 seniors. I could also do one with juniors. I could do one with sophomores. Where,
I have a lot to say about sophomores.
right? Like,
I have a lot to say.
Exactly. I could talk about, like, the internship pressure from your junior year. I could talk about, like, the sophomore slump that everyone hits. Literally almost dropped out of college because of it. Like,
See,
there's...
I didn't have a sophomore slump.
Oh my god, I did.
I had a sophomore transfer slump, if that's what you call it.
Well, I mean, same. Me too.
I had a 3.75 GPA drop to a 2.3 in a semester because of how bad that sophomore slump hit.
Yeah.
I'm like in a senior slump, honestly. Like, my grades were at the bottom of the pit, and now they're rising, but I'll graduate, so.
Real.
That's what matters.
Exactly.
Very, very true. I don't want it to be over. Okay.
It's over?
No. I have one more question.
Oh gosh.
And it's the tried and true. What is a piece of advice that you would give to an incoming freshman? And I want you to be as, like, weird and niche with this piece of advice as you can try to be. Don't give me the standard, like, get out there and do fun things and connect with everyone and join clubs. Like, try your best to think of because I honestly don't even know what my advice is yet. I think I might have to think about it while you guys
Let me
talk.
cook. I feel like mine is don't go on the path that you think you want. Kind of go on a path, like, I know you literally just said don't say that, but do try new things. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like, if you told me I was going to be a full-time photographer and literally love my job, I would have literally been like, girl, no. Like, that's not what I want to do. Like, for example, I said I want to be a fashion merchandising major. You have to sometimes go through stuff to know you don't want to do it. Like, for example, say someone listening to this, they want to go to live in New Orleans for some reason. They go there a few times, they literally hate it. Like, don't pressure yourself to set these goals, you attain them, and then you, like, I don't know how to explain it, but just don't, like, like, force yourself to want something so bad and kind of be open to change.
Yeah, I love that.
Mine would say do the stuff that you laughed at. And that's...
Ooh!
And I'm saying that from... I was nominated to be an Health Sciences and Professions Ambassador, and I got that email and I laughed at it. I was like, that is the nerdiest thing that I could ever do. Been there for 3 years and I'm now the executive, like, coordinator for their planning.
Yep.
But also, orientation, was nominated for orientation. I was like, why? Why would I want to stay in Athens for a summer? Why would I want to work with first years? Why would I want to do this thing?
Yeah.
Worked there for 2 years. And looking back, it's the things that I've been, why would I want to do that people would make fun of me for? And, like, people would laugh at me for doing that.
Yep.
It's something I love. It's something I found a passion in doing, and I would not do it any other way looking back. And do the stuff that you would laugh at.
I love that. Okay. I think mine would be, life is short, but it's also so long. And there is so much time to go back to school and try new things and start over. So at 18 years old and at 22 years old, you have no idea what the world is like, what's going to happen. I mean, I couldn't even fathom what my life was going to be like 2 years ago, let alone 4. So I think my advice for a freshman would be, don't think about the big picture of what do I want to do for the rest of my life. Think about it more as, what do I want to do first, or where do I want to start? Because I think that makes it so much easier to think about less of where do I want to end up 30 years from now, and more what's going to make me happy now. Because I think the whole thing of this is we don't live in the moment, and we don't stay true to the things that make us happy and make us feel like that little 14-year-old again. Like So yeah, I think that would be my piece of advice, is focus more on the present and what you want to do first instead of the big picture, because I think it makes it so much easier to figure out what's important to you.
Clap, clap.
Heck yeah. I'm sad. It's over.
Just gab after, guys.
Real. Do you have any closing remarks or anything that you'd like to say?
You deserve an A+.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like this low-key, like, awakened something in me that was like, girl, maybe you do work too much.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that this did something.
I really like what you said, and, like, the whole, like, kind of, like, awakening low-key your inner, like, 14-year-old, because I'm like, there's so much stuff. Like, I used to be a little book nerd. I can't remember last time I read a book. And, like, the little me inside wants out. She wants
Yes, she wants to come back out. She's tired.
She's so tired.
She's so tired. You gotta let her get on those monkey bars.
I know. Like,
let her run around. Yeah.
I will say, last time I got on the monkey bars, that was 2 years ago, and I tried to do a flip and I fell.
Oh,
so I
no!
would recommend doing that.
Yeah, so
I mean,
maybe
flexible the
Avrin
second
don't get on the
version.
monkey bars. You give it a try, though,
Okay,
Lexie. Maybe that's what we'll do after this.
Okay.
Monkey bars. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you guys for being here with me today. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for tuning into my Capstone project. Once again, this is Jenna Smalley, and I hope you've enjoyed. Here's to the next adventure.